Hello, hello, hello. What is going on, guys? Good evening. Welcome to the live session. It has been an amazing month, an amazing month. And as you guys know, we are now on the YouTube live. So I will not know if you are on here unless you post. So I do see a couple people posting on here. Hello, good evening. Hello, hello. I will also put on here. Any questions as I go through this live are welcome. I just put that on here to make sure that you guys post if you want me to see you. All right. So we have a good bit of people on here. And this evening, I am going over my journey to 20,000. All right. So if you guys have been following me throughout the course of the month, and last month I had a video out and I posted that I was running for 20,000 in production. I needed to hit a larger number than I have been doing for several months because of the fact that my team is a lot smaller, my individual team, and there are certain criteria that we need to hit in order to maintain our MGA status. So it was very important for me to push in the month of October. All right. So I do have a spreadsheet up in front of me. So let me just, sorry, I'm going to adjust my screen and move that over so I can see your comments as well as my notes here. So what I did, guys, is I did several clips throughout the course of the month. I did a lot of videos. My original goal was to record every single day that I worked in the field and then put those videos together and then post it at some point. Let me tell you, as I was going through all of the videos that I have put together, it was just too much. It was just, I'm like, who's going to watch 2 hours worth of clips? Because it definitely is a lot of clips. You guys know I like to talk. So I was definitely wordy in a lot of the clips. I may just go ahead and post individual clips and do maybe a video before the clip, just giving you a heads up. But to put all that together, yeah, I figured it would be easier for me to just give you guys a breakdown of what happened through the month, what I have experienced, some of the things that the reminders, oh my God, the reminders. I have not been in the field full time for maybe 2 years, maybe even 3. And so there are several things that you forget about when you're not having to be in the field every day. And this was a month that I'm glad that I definitely had my lovely notebook with me and I jotted down. I do like to journal anyway. So I took a lot of notes and I also did videos. So what I did today is I went through all of my notes. I went through my reports because on the calendar, I kept track of my lead balances, my chargeback balances, as well as my DNP. And of course, I always keep track of my pays. I am not going to break that down during this video because, again, I'm not trying to have you guys on here for 2 hours. But I do want to go into several things that I noticed as I was running through this goal. All right. The very first thing that I learned, and guys, if you have any questions at all, feel free to post them on the YouTube. Again, I will definitely answer the questions as I'm going along. The very first thing that I realized that I should have done is I should have went hard at the beginning of the month. I should have gone hard at the beginning. I looked at the total goal and I broke it down based on the days that I knew I'd be able to work in the field, not taking into consideration if, God forbid, I were to get sick, if in fact, anything that may pop up. So if you are going for a large goal and you know that it is like come hell or high water, you need to hit the goal, push yourself as hard as you can in the beginning of the month. So that way, anything that comes up, you'll be ahead of schedule. All right. So I am going to go down and I have in front of me from day 1 down to day 31. And I'm just going to read off to you guys my app count. And then I am going to go into my little comments that I have for each day. Okay. So let me close this thing over here. All right. So day 1. All right. So I came in first day, definitely knowing that I was going for 20,000, knowing that I needed a set amount for my agency, the team number. So for the first day I worked locally. But the beginning of the month was also a little bit stressful because my daughter and my son had a dance on that Saturday. So always a big deal with teenagers. They need to have the right color, the right dress, the right hair, all of this, right? So for the first week, I was focused a lot on trying to get everything together for the kids. But I did work, I worked local. So the first day I had one app, the DMP was like 670. The second day I worked all that week I worked local. The second day, I ended up with another app. So I had one app, so 1 for 1. So that was great. Day 3, I didn't get any apps at all. I worked, again, these days I was working half the days whenever my daughter was home. Then I was running to the mall, picking up Ricari from football, things like that. The day 4, I picked up 2 apps. So I was at 4 apps and my DNP was at 1931. Okay. Saturday and Sunday, I was off. I was dealing with the dance, the parties. I was definitely the kids' Uber because, I just don't trust everybody. And I had already told some of her kids' parents, her friends' parents, that I would pick the kids up and drop them off at the after party and I would stay there. So that's what I wanted to do. And that's what I did. So the kids stayed overnight. So for the weekend, I had the kids. So did not work that weekend. Going into week 2, me and Raheem had decided we were going to hit the road for 2 days. So we drove 4.5 hours away from home. And we worked those 2 days. I did not get any additional. Oh, I'm sorry. I did. I had some additional apps, but they were not good to go. So they were pushed out for a couple of days. So my app count still on the reports showed 4 with the same DMP, 1931. Wednesday of that second week, we received an email that we had a manager's meeting and it was kind of a 911. So we really didn't have a lot of time to prepare for it, but we had to go. And so we were coming from 4.5 hours away from one side of the world, coming back into where we live to basically drop off our clothes, get a couple hours of sleep, and then head 4.5 hours out the opposite direction of where we live for this meeting. And we did that. Definitely have to take care of that. So that day was nicked. So there was no work done that day. That Thursday, I was exhausted. So I did phone calls. I did my video. And of course, I do my live videos on Thursday nights. And that meeting, Raheem was here with me. So we did a video together. No sales. On the report, it did show a couple of those pending apps came through. So now I was at apps number 7 at 4,214. So I'm like week 2 at 4,214 in production. Okay, so that is way behind. You are going for a $20,000 production. You really should try to be at, like, if it's day 1, 1,000, day 2, 2,000 in production. You want to be, really producing higher numbers, which I did not do. So we get to Friday. Now I'm at 8 apps at 6,143, feeling a little better. We had another party that we had already RSVP'd. We definitely thought about, should we go? We both had a goal, my husband and I. I was running for a personal goal as well as my professional goal. And we were going to the Bahamas at the beginning of November. So it was a lot going on. Oh my God, it was a lot going on. That weekend did not work. Sunday, that was the 15th of the month, I got sick. Yes, I got sick. So I'm thinking, you have got to be kidding me. How did I get sick? Well, it happens when you're going in and out of a lot of people's homes. If you're not careful with your hand sanitizer, washing your hands enough, all of that good stuff. But here I am sick and I'm stressing. So anytime that you have a lot on your mind and you're stressed, if you are not eating the right way, if you are not taking in all your fluids and you are going in and out of homes with a lot of germs, you are bound to pick something up because when you're stressed, your immune system is low. All right. I got sick. So here I'm sick for 4 days. Now, I don't know what's been going on the last, really this past year. When I catch a cold or I get sick, I lose my voice or it gets very raspy. You can tell it's a little raspy right now, but that's really just because I was on the phones today talking a lot. But my voice box has just been messed up really since June. And I definitely need to get that looked at. But nonetheless, I wasn't feeling well. The kids didn't have school for a day for no reason at all. I swear these kids always have a day off. So they were home, no problem. The fourth day I was still sick, but I decided to jump on the phones because my voice was definitely better and I was able to get a couple cells. Now I'm at 7101. I did my video day because Thursday came up and I definitely have my university that I am committed to as well, making sure that I'm staying consistent on my videos and my trainings and plugging in with my students. So that's always on my Thursday. Friday, I woke up super duper sad. I was sad. At the beginning of the month, I wasn't really thinking about the fact that it's October. And every October, near the middle to the end of the month, I get sad. I start thinking about my birthday. My sister, who passed about 5 years ago now, her birthday is 6 days before mine. Every single year, this happens. And I forget about it because it's not something that I'm thinking about really. It's not something that I really expect. It happens. And then I'm like, what is going on with me? And as I think about and I analyze my own situation in my own mind, it's like, okay, here we go. And as most people know that are in sales, your energy is everything. It is everything. And so it was a mental day. I still went out to work. I did not produce any activity. Actually, I didn't even see anybody. I knocked 17 doors and not one person was home. And I really believe that that was God just saying, I'm going to help you not mess up any of your leads today. So I didn't see anybody. So there was no presentations, did the activity, left my sticky notes, but I did receive phone calls back on that Saturday. So that was great. That Saturday and Sunday still was little mental days. I did knock a little bit in the afternoon on that Saturday, and I was able to set an appointment at the door. Moving on to Sunday, I had a meeting with Tony Ann and Paul, one of the other managers, and we are really working to get some things in order as far as for manager meetings, managers in training, a whole bunch of different things. And so I had a meeting on that day to help with, again, our agency as a whole. Now I am on work week 4, right? Let me look at this month. Right, 1, 2, 3, because we had 5 weeks in October. So I'm on week 4 and I am only at 10 apps with 9,655 on the books. And me and Raheem, he was already hitting the road. And I said, I'm hitting the road with you. So called my mom. I said, Mom, I need you again. Please come on over. It's really important to have a support system, individuals that you can trust to come over, although she did feed the dog pizza and Raheem's mad. But she took care of the kids and I was able to hit the road again with Raheem. So we again went 4.5 hours away, worked for the 2 days, and I did not get a lot of people home. I had a lot of leads that were in their 50s and 40s this time, which is, it doesn't happen a lot, but it is what it is. And I called through the leads. A ton of people were just on vacation. They were not home. And I was just like, wow, this is crazy to be in the same area 4 times and only really sold 2 to 3 people out of that area out of about 25 to 30 leads. So that was a shock. Nonetheless, you keep on pushing. You keep going. I got home that Wednesday and Thursday and I jumped on the phones. I'm still at the end of that week, the same as I began that week. I still only had 10 apps at 9,655. So on that Saturday, we had a football game. Sunday is when I was sitting down and mentally I was like, okay, I am leaving for the Bahamas on Friday, which was the 1st of November. I need to get 10,000 in personal production to hit my 20,000. I also needed about 17,000 for the team goal for the MGA. 4 days left. 2.5 agents running. And I cannot hit the road anymore. Okay. This is when it gets tough. This is when I stopped and I said, okay, now I remember what it was like when I was a new agent, still trying to figure the business out, had a goal. The pressure was the same pressure that I remembered when I was broke and needed money. In this case, thank God I wasn't broke and I didn't need the money, but I needed that production. I needed to hit that goal. It was like I had to hit this goal. I had to minimum hit my MGA goal, right? So I'm throwing contest out to the 2, 3 individuals that are on the team. I'm like, listen, I'm about, here's the money. What can you do? I really need you to push for your goal. Boom. And then for myself, I sat down and I really started to think, okay, what is going to be the best solution for me to hit this goal? What do I need to do? And so sometimes you really have to just get quiet and stop, right? Most people I'm sure would have been like, dang that on that Sunday, I'm going to work to make it 5 days left. I did not go to work on that Sunday. I sat my butt down. I went through my old leads because a lot of the leads that I had, and right now there were not a lot of leads that I could order. We have a different lead system going on right now. So the leads I was waiting for to come in, they actually just came in 2 days ago. So I didn't have those leads. I was running 1.5 year old leads. And I was able to order 27 leads, which were the leads that I had for that county that I only sold 3 out of. But I do have pending. There was a lot of people I didn't see because they were not in town. So there's tons of people I can help in that stack. And I already know that. But for this goal, that did not happen. So what did I decide to do? I decided to jump into my policyholders and my orphan policyholders, as well as the NTO and lapse report for clients that have been off of the books for more than 2 years. Okay, because had I worked the report, my NTO and lapse report, and I dealt with the clients that were reinstatable, right? Which of course we want to work that report, but I need to hit this goal right now. I have 4 days left. So if I were to work that part of the report, they would have been reinstatable and I would not have been able to receive the DNP, right? Again, I was not focusing on deposits. I was focusing on production. And even those people, whenever you reinstate them, they do, you get your pay through, but most important is that you're helping the family. But again, I was working on a goal. So I looked at every person that was 2 years and older, as well as the policyholders and orphan policyholders. Now, granted, I've been here 8 years. I have several agents that used to work for the team that are no longer here. So there's over 800 clients. The blessing is that I work with MapView. And so in MapView, I'm able to put all of the clients in there. Okay. So I know where everybody is. And in the map view, there is an option. It has like a little squiggly line. Can't really explain it on here, but you can actually select an area and then create a new group of who's close to me because I needed to see these people. I needed them to be close where I can just run to them, no traveling time, like literally being able to bang these doors, right? So I did that. And then from the map view, I exported the leads to Excel. Now I'm a little techie, and thank God for that. But I created a template, and I'm just going to pull it up real quick. I should have had it in front of me, but I created this template where I could pull the lead information. So all of their information would be on a sheet of paper. So this is the same size that I print my leads to a page, and then I can put on my clipboard. What all is on this lead that I created through mail merge is everything that would be on the Excel spreadsheet that we receive from the company. So the owner's name, insured's name, policy number, the old agent, the address, phone number, date of birth, the face value that they had, the due date, the accidental riders, the premium, when it was issued, if it was something that was only into and lapsed, when it actually lapsed, right? And the plan type. So everything printed out for me to have in front of me. And this is what I used to make the phone calls. But what I did with that is I sat down, and as you see, right, it's a lot. I told you there was a million of them, right? All of these are clients. Some of them are on the book still, some aren't. And these are only the people that are in my area. So that's not the people in the different states or in an hour, 2, 3, 4 hours away. These are the people that are local to me. And I went through with my lovely, guys, get you some rubber fingers. If you have fingernails, ladies, cut a little hole right there. So it fits nicely with your nail and you can move quickly because time is of the essence, right? We need to make sure that we are doing everything that we can in a timely fashion. So what I did was I went through and I looked for all of the individuals who got paid on the third Wednesday, the fourth Wednesday, or the fourth Thursday. And I shouldn't say got paid, that's their due date. Usually our clients, we set them up on their dates that they are getting paid. And so that is what I looked for, the due dates on these reports. And I thumbed through them and pulled out everybody that either just got paid or are getting ready to get paid for the first to the third of the month, because I know that those individuals, I'm able to put them in through the secure app and they will count for this month. Okay. Talk about on the phones. I am calling through tons and tons and tons and tons of numbers. Some of the numbers were no longer in service. So then you call Lincoln Heritage and you ask for the update information because they usually have the updated information. When I tell you I have made over 700 dials, I'm driving and I'm dialing. I'm driving and I'm dialing. I'm dialing. I'm dialing. I'm driving. I'm door knocking. I'm dialing. I'm doing all of it at the same time because I have 4 days left. 4. I sat back and I'm like, okay, God, like, people are not answering the phone. They're not there. I have an app called Dial My Calls, and you can upload an Excel spreadsheet into that app and you can send out mass text messages. I was sending out text messages. I received some apps via the text message, and I was like, listen, where are you at right now? I have all your information because I was able to get a copy or most of their information from Lincoln, so I can fill out the information on the secure app and save it. And you can just go right to the person. So literally I was running to people's jobs and I'm like, I need you to sign right here. And running. You talk about crazy. I was crazy, crazy. Raheem was calling me. He was like, girl, what's going on? I was like, listen, I am losing my mind right now. Like literally running. Almost every single day, I did not make it home until 7, 8 o'clock at night, right? Because I wasn't thinking about on those 3 days, 6 o'clock is your deadline. That's just your deadline for the good to goes for that day. You can knock a door until 9 o'clock p.m. If you can see the address, you can knock on the door, and I'm good for the flashlight. So, thank goodness, he was cool. He was working as well. The kids were great. So we were able to work that part out. But people, my money sheet, on the bottom of my money sheet, I have on there a section for decline coverage. I'll cover this person's name or what have you. So if you see here, this is my money sheet, right? Questions and all that. I put all the information there, and then I'll put different quotes down here. And then the notes. And then if they decline coverage, I'll put that information down here. Now, this is one that it's sloppy because I did this while I was on the phone and I just filled everything out. And that way I was able to, get everything I needed. So I have it. The client wouldn't have anything that's sloppy. But I wrote everything down. I was doing presentations on the phone with people, letting them know, listen, this is open enrollment, especially if somebody's birthday was coming up. The best time to get your increase is right now, because if you wait until later, you're going to have to spend more for your insurance. It's better to get it now while you're healthy and you're younger. So I was using all of that information, which is all true. But it's like, listen, this is important for you to get it right now. Pushing for that goal. Talk about emotional. I did not hit my 20. I wrote 18,086 in this month. Another thing, I learned a lot this month. 15,433 is what was on the report for the last day of the month, for the 31st of the month. I did thank God for my agents that were able to push in and assist, and we definitely hit our goal for the MGA. So we didn't have to worry about that for another 6 months. Thank God. So we're rebuilding. However, my personal goal, five of those apps that I calculated for October were pushed to November. Why they were pushed to November is because what I didn't know about those 5 clients, and they were individuals that are already on the books, and I was increasing them on their original policyholder list. Sorry for the noise in the background, but on the original policyholder list, it said on there that they paid via their checking account. Somewhere along the journey, they changed it to direct bill. Okay. So when I increased them and I put it in the system using their policy number, because again, I was running to people's jobs, literally. Like, okay, I'm downstairs, can you run down or do I need to run up? And they did not have their bank account information. And again, a blessing with Lincoln is that if they are an existing client and it's the same bank account, we just need to enter in the policy number and it'll still get processed. So that's what I did. And because those clients were on a direct bill, or they changed from the checking account to a debit card, those get pushed 3 days out. I was like, oh my God. So I didn't celebrate too soon. Like myself and another one of the agents that I knew was running, he also qualified for the trip. We were at the last hour and I was like, okay, where are you at? What did you process? Where am I at? Are you sure they're good to go? Are they checks? Are they savings? Do you know? I'm like, well, I believe mine are. I have several over. but let's just keep going just in case something happens. And thank God for that. So he had 2 more appointments. He was able to get 4 more in. He was also working his policyholders, and he did some increases, which was great. And I had a lady call me back. I had my girlfriend on the phone, like, listen, didn't you say your mom needed insurance? Didn't you say your sister needed insurance? I'm calling everybody, right? Got that part done. Thank God for that. 45 minutes before 6 o'clock, which is our cutoff time, 45 minutes before, I get a phone call from Lincoln Heritage telling me that the app that I mailed in that had a live check, excuse me, I submitted the wrong payment authorization form. I was like, what? And they said, well, we can process it as a direct bill, or, we can just hold it for you. I was like, just hold it. I do not need another direct bill pushing into November. I need that to count. So I told him to hold on. I called the lady. She was at work. I asked her for the address. I told her I needed to get a form signed, that we had such a great time when I was over there that I failed to get one form signed. And it's very important that I get it done today, because hers was good to go on that day with the check. That's why I mailed it. She said, no problem. Just come on over. Talk about flying across town through traffic, going through alleys. I mean, I was moving, praying and moving, praying and moving. I don't speed too much, but I was definitely going through some alleys, because I knew that this was traffic time. 5:15, really? I get there about 15 minutes. She signs the paper. I'm like, I am sorry, but I need to scan this in right now. So while she was just talking, I scanned it in, I uploaded it, I called Lincoln. Always call when there's any type of hiccups and you have to upload another form. You want to call them. I called them. Called into new business, excuse me, and they were like, "Oh yeah, we receive it. I see it." And then they said, "Okay, we'll make sure it gets processed." And I said, "Make sure it gets processed today." And she said, "Oh well, it's an initial withdrawal." I said, "No, no, no. There's a check there." Now, had I not been clear to say, make sure that get processed today, that would have been kicked into November also, because the lady who looked at the file real quick, did not see that there was a check that had came into the office. So you always want to make sure. I mean, they are phenomenal. They're fabulous. They do an amazing job. But you always want to make sure that everything, all your I's are dotted and your T's are crossed if you want to get credit. Because at the end of that day, when the report came out and showed me that those other 5 policies were pushed into November that I didn't know about, if this one did not go through, we would not have hit our goal. And I would have been sick. I would have been sick. So crazy. What I did not expect, the sickness days. I didn't expect the emotional days. And we all have them. We're all human. Things happen, right? And you want to take into consideration that you may have a day or 2 or 3 that you're not able to work in the field, and that is important to calculate. So I just urge you all to make sure that the days that you are able to work, even though you don't feel like working, go to work. Go to work. God, some of the clients, oh my goodness, I had some amazing clients through this month. Definitely. Some of the apps that I received phone calls coming in from the sticky notes that I left on the doors. And on my voicemail, it definitely says for them to leave me a day and a time that would be best to hand deliver. So I don't answer my phone when people call me. I let them leave a voicemail. I check the voicemail, and then I go see the people when they say. I'm just going to look in my notebook real quick for a couple things that I wrote down. Additional. Oh God. While I was out in the field the one day, when we were 4.5 hours out in the one county, I received a phone call from an agent who's not one of my agents, but I met him. I didn't meet him, but I met via YouTube. He had reached out to me last year. I was having some difficulties in the field, and we just, was talking and communicating back and forth. He had called my husband, and they had, talked about some different things that he can do in the field. And then we didn't hear anything else from him for months, And I talked to so many people, every now and then I thought about him, but it was like, it wasn't like he called every day or we talked all the time or that I really knew him. It's just, somebody that had called, and we just encourage individuals. And I got a call from him, and the number is still saved in my phone. His voice sounded different. Let me tell you, he called me, one, to let me know what had happened. And shortly after he had spoke to my husband, he had started to feel sick. And through the sickness, he had found out that he had cancer, right? And they ended up having to do surgery. I mean, it was just this whole, he blew my mind telling me all that he told me, that I can't even remember everything that he said, because I was like, wait a minute. I remembered him telling me that he was super healthy, that, he used to run every day and he worked out and, just loving on life. And he didn't have a lot of responsibilities. And so he wanted to do so much for this business. And the next thing you know, he was paralyzed. He couldn't talk. He couldn't walk. And the doctors actually told him that he wasn't going to live. Right? But praise God. He said he wasn't believing in that. He was not receiving what they had to say. He's definitely a believer. And he was able to talk clearly because he did call me. And he just, wanted me to know how much that he appreciated all the videos, because he was still plugged in and listening. And he just now has that desire more than ever to help people in the field, because now he sees how fast our life can change, how you can be from final expense to modified overnight. He went into the hospital thinking, he had a cold or was going to get some pain meds, and drastic change, right? So I wanted to definitely share that, because he had asked me to definitely use that story if it could help another agent. It definitely helped myself. I definitely felt that, because I do know how your life can be changed from one day to another by means of my sister, when she had her stroke in her 30s, and then when she died in her 40s and wasn't sick. But the reminder, to have that reminder was just like, wow. And he called me on that Friday before the last week. He called me on that Friday. And I'm sure that that was definitely one of the many stories that I heard throughout this month that helped me to push, right? To push even harder. I had the doorkeeper. So I know a lot of you guys have those individuals that when you knock on the door, they tell you, oh, I know that my mom or my sister or my uncle, my cousin, my father, whoever, my spouse didn't fill that out, right? Well, I had that, and I made sure to write it in the book, because what I did was I took the lead off of my clipboard and I handed it to, I heard you, I handed it to the gatekeeper, and I also took off the laminated letter that I keep on my door cracker, right? You can get the letters that go out to your leads from Lincoln Heritage, if you are Lincoln Heritage agents. At the bottom of your lead, you will see the number, and you can call into Lincoln Heritage and let them know that you need the letter that corresponds with your leads. And I have several of the letters. Of course, I've been here for 8 years. And every time I receive leads and I see that there's a different number, I call in and I get the letter, because I want to know what they received. but I also want to be able to hand this to them. And it's laminated so I can wipe it off. Hand sanitizer. So when I handed this to the lady with the lead, she took it in and the mother remembered. That helped me get in that door and it helped me to sell the lady, right? They don't remember. They fill out stuff all the time. These are just wonderful tools to have whenever you are out there and you have the gatekeepers. Because what do they know? They just think that you're somebody trying to sell something because people are always trying to sell something. But we have a product that everybody needs. And it is important that they receive the information they requested. And sometimes you have to push and, be creative, think, don't allow these individuals to make you uncomfortable. You want to think about how you can help them. Always remember that this could be your mom, your dad, your aunt, your uncle, whoever it is that you really love. It could be them that need this product. So treat your leads as people because that is who they are. All right. Let me see if there's any other little lovely notes in here I'm at the 40 minutes today, so it's a little bit longer. I wanted to keep you guys at the 30 minutes, but this month was amazing. Several of the days I had wrote down to keep gratefulness on your mind and in your heart, regardless of what is going on. When you feel amazing, people can feel that energy and they want to know what is going on with you. So if you keep that gratefulness, regardless of what's going on your heart and in your mind, that is going to help you feel better and you're going to be able to give off that energy. What else? What else? And of course, guys, throughout this whole month, I was writing down just different notes, things for the university. Another worksheet that I thought about while I was running because, man, every day I was looking at the reports. Every day I was keeping track of the numbers. Came up with wonderful contest ideas for the future, coming up with recruiting bonuses for the future because, again, I'm building the training, raise opportunities. I mean, just a ton of different things that while I was running through the month and driving, that's one of the things I love about traveling to the different counties is I get that windshield time where I'm listening to the motivational speakers, I'm listening to my audiobooks, and my mind, I am able to hear from God. I'm able to hear the ideas. I'm just open and keeping your notebook so you can jot down things, pull over to the side of the road and take these notes down. You can also use your audio recorder on your cell phone so that you're not having to, write and drive or pull over. That is a wonderful tool. I like to write because as I'm writing, it really just goes, it's better for me. So I like to write things down. And again, listening to all those clips, whoo, that was a lot. It was a lot. So guys, that was the struggle running for the 20K. You have to push hard in the beginning, make the phone calls, set the appointment, do the door knocking, call your existing clients, work your NTO and lapse reports every day. You can do these things throughout the course of your days instead of waiting until the end of the month and then having all that pressure on you. And then it's like cramming it in because I didn't even go shopping for the trip. I did not have time to go shopping for the Bahamas because I had that time. When I'm looking at this calendar, I had a good 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 days. 11 days where there were no changes. 13 days where there was no changes, no, sales. A lot of those days where I wasn't working, I had part-time and, door knocking, not making phone calls while I was door knocking, just door knocking, Guys, I did have a couple calls come in And I was able to make those phone calls and then go over and see the people and sell them from work that I've done last month and from door sticky notes that I leave on the doors, letters that I left on the doors, um, all of the work. Like it all works if you do the work. All right. So I definitely have a goal for every single month, right? I put the numbers down this month for the 20,000. I should have, and I know better. I should have put the numbers down for 25. That way, anything that falls down, I still hit the 20. My hell or high water was the 15, which I hit the 15, which I was very excited about that. And again, the managers, we hit that level for the team, which definitely excited about that. Do I know I could have done more? Yes. Bottom line, yes. Do I understand the emotional days that I had? I do. And I understand that sometimes there's just nothing I can do about that. And that's the same for you. But on a couple of those days, when I spent a couple extra hours at the mall with my daughter, we could have bought the one dress instead of going across town to get a different one, right? Different things that you think about after the fact. But that's it, guys. That is it. So I am going to park it. I am done. If you guys have any questions, any, excuse me, any comments, you can go ahead and post them now and I will answer them. I do know that there's a delay, so I'll give it a second for you guys to be able to type. I did not do it on Facebook. Facebook has been cutting up the last couple of weeks, so I'm not able to see you guys, just the likes and things like that. So you definitely have to post on YouTube. One thing that I do know, I ordered 27 leads last month. If I did not have all the leads that I had already ordered the month before, I would have ordered about easy 60 leads. But I had a lot of leads already. I had a lot of old leads, people I didn't see, and a good bit of sales came from some of them old leads. I know the one house, the guy told me, he was like, "Oh, I'm not 70, I'm 72." And we laughed. I said, "Well, I told you we were backed up. It's been so long. I was trying to catch up to you." And I just laughed it off. He laughed and I laughed and we just kept it moving. I said, "Thank God you're still here. Thank God I'm still here." So your attitude is everything, right? If you look at an old lead and you feel like, "Oh my God, this is old. I don't want to work this. These people are going to say X, Y, and Z." Yeah, you're probably right because that's what you're expecting. I don't care the dates of the leads. The people, I did not see them. If they're still alive, they still need us. Bottom line. And I will, that's just a easier way for when somebody tells me that they want to think about it. And I've already, taken a year to see you. You've been thinking for a year. What else is there to think about? Like, how can I help you make this decision so that you're not putting this off any further? So that's it. Anything you want to add, Raw? While I have you right here. All right. So that's it, guys. That's it. Thank you for joining me as I figure out. Oh my God! Wait a minute. I have 800 posts that just came up. I don't know how that happened. Okay, wait a minute. I'm sorry. Let me scroll through here. So there must have been a delay. All right, guys. Yes, thank you. There's so many of you guys on here. I didn't even see you. I see you now. I see you now. What's that app again called? Dial My Calls. It's called Dial My Calls, Monica. That sheet, I created that sheet and I got it approved by Lincoln Heritage. You can email me. I'll put my email down below. When you email me, make sure you are letting me know what you need, what you've stated on the call, and I'll be sure to send that over to you. So I created that. Thank you, Monica. I know, right? I'm super excited about that. You are welcome, Stephanie, for sharing. Thank you, Deborah. I see managers. I don't know who that is, but you're welcome. Who do you order your leads from? Robin, I I am strictly Lincoln Heritage. That is who I order my leads from. I do not order any Facebook leads or web leads or from any outside vendor. Honestly, I think Lincoln frowns upon that because those leads are not one specific to Lincoln Heritage and they may not be legal. So I am not about to lose my license or my opportunity with this company. So I get the lead strictly from Lincoln. All right. All right, guys. I'm so glad I refreshed that. I was doing insurance for a few months and was let go. Do I have to retake the insurance test if I want to work another company? No, you only need to take that. Okay, Dawn, thank you. Good to see you. You only need to take your state life insurance license once. You do have to renew it every 2 years, and that is your continued education. And as long as you do that, you do not have to take that test again. If you're going from one company, one agency to another, you do not have to take the test again. You simply have to go through the process of interviewing with the new company. Okay, going through whatever their process is. So sorry to hear that you were let go. But if this is where you want to be, make sure that you keep going, keep pushing, and make sure that you are not let go from the next opportunity. Most times people are let go because of non-production. They're not producing. This is a sales environment. You have to produce something. And that's it. So if you are looking for an opportunity and you are on this site, I'm looking for individuals that are coachable, that are positive, that love life, that know that they deserve more and are willing to work hard to obtain more. You have to have a reliable vehicle, and you cannot tell me that you cannot travel more than 2 hours away, because sometimes it is necessary to travel more than 2 hours away. If that is you and you live in the states of Florida, Indiana, Ohio, Virginia, or of course, Pennsylvania, you want to send me an email to lhlifenow@gmail.com. I have my online university that is for individuals that are not within my agency. There is a small fee monthly, but for those that are my agents, you receive the online training for free. All right. So come on. It is time to change your life. We're about to be at 2020 already. 2020. This is the perfect time to learn a new opportunity. So hit me up. I'll be more than happy to talk to you about this opportunity to see if it's a good fit for you as well as for us. All right. Thank you. Thank you. And I'm out. Love you guys. And I will see you on the next video. If you're not on my mailing list, text me at or go to my website, ChristineAustinEl.com. First name, last name.com. As you go through the web page, it'll pop up for you to enter your name so that you can be added to my email list. I do not spam anybody. You'll receive an email once or maybe twice a week. All right. And all the information is worthy. So that's it, guys. I will see you on the next video. Peace.